Brian Sackett and George Marble for Video Depot. Cue Bowl Pee Wee Championship in the Mira Mesa Scripps Ranch Pop Warner Football League. Kicking off for the South Bay Eagles, number 10, Torrey Cutts. And receiving for Valencia Park, number 10, Darcel Sharp, and number 44, Michael Wakefield. This will be Sharp finding the handling a little difficult, but scoots over the right side, and a nice return out to about the 42-yard line. And the Hornet offense will trot out onto the field. There, the backfield. Quarterback number 10, Darcel Sharp, hands off this time over the right side to number 12, Robert Coons. This is the Valencia Park Saints, though listed in our program as the Hornets. And I've just gotten an early correction from my partner, George Marble, that for years this was the Valencia Park Saints organization and just have switched to the Hornets. The center for Valencia Park, number 55, Ollie Long. Handoff goes to number 44, Michael Wakefield. Wakefield, along with number 22, Barry Washington, and number 10, Darcel Sharp, said to be the big guns on offense for head coach Winston Sharp Jr. This is a dominant team in the Mira Mesa Scripps Ranch Pop Warner Football League, winning the championship 5 years in succession from 1981 through 1985. This time, number 44 tries the right side, picks up the first down before being dropped by number 55, Danny Denham. Just underway from Mira Mesa High School, Brian Sackett, George Marble, and spotter Lee Bostic for Video Depot, bringing you the second of 5 Cue Bowl championship games in what will be a very long Saturday, November the 19th. Thank goodness not too hot out here, as temperatures dipped into the 30s last night in Southern California. Number 44 over the left side. This time is Wakefield, brought down by number 69, Jose Centeno. Gain of only a couple, it'll be 2nd and 8. In talking to head coach Curtis Dawson of the South Bay Eagle organization, I'm told that the defense we'll see is primarily a zone defense and that there are no real standouts on the bunch, but rather that all the performers are very steady and have been throughout the season. This time, number 78, Scott Lovelace, it looked like. Number 78, he's listed on offense, so apparently that was number 79, Pinky Mendoza, on the stop. And a gain of maybe a yard. It'll bring up a 3rd and 9. The ball just about the South Bay 45-yard line for quarterback Darcel Sharp, the son of head coach Winston Sharp Jr. The Hornets 10-0 on the season, 8-0 in the regular season, with playoff wins of 26-0 over Kearney Mesa. Pass attempt to number 41, a nice toss. Bobby Kaufman-Nash on the pass attempt from Darcel Sharp. It falls incomplete, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 9. And we'll have to wait and see what the Hornets do here early. 6 minutes and 35 seconds in the first quarter from Mira Mesa High School. The Eagles of South Bay finished the regular season 5-2 with regular season losses to Valencia Park and Skyline. The punt by Sharp, a pretty decent effort. Gathered in by number 34, weaves his way through the special teams of Valencia Park. Number 34 is J.P. Broussard with a decent run back, and the South Bay Eagle offense will trot out onto the field for the first time. The quarterback for South Bay, number 24, Charzell Shears, one of the offensive captains. Hands off to number 30, Jermaine Dawson, son of head coach Curtis Dawson and brother of number 33, Jamie Dawson. The two brothers, both sons of head coach Curtis Dawson. After defeating Los Toros 13-6 in the first round of the playoffs, redemption was the theme for South Bay, as last week they defeated Skyline 13-7 to redeem an earlier season, regular season loss. This time, it's Dawson over the right side, finds a nice crease and picks up 4 or 5 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and only about half a yard to go. The nose of the ball just outside the South Bay 40-yard line. On the stop, number 44 for Valencia Park. 40 rather on the stop. Aaron Love, first time we've called his name. And it is 3rd down and just about a yard to go inside of 5 minutes now in the first quarter. Nice running play, breaks it open over the middle. Number 30, Jermaine Dawson. The Dawson gang, Jermaine and Jamie, gonna be a tough tandem to hold at bay. The Eagles of South Bay with a big first down there will play at 1st and 10 in Hornet territory. On the move early, South Bay may have a height and weight advantage in this game, and that could certainly come in handy in a close contest in the second half. This time Dawson at quarterback on the keeper around the left side. Picks up a nice gain before being brought down by number 40 on the play. Aaron Love once again on the stop, but not before Dawson picks up 9 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 1. A great place for an offense to have a lot of options on 2nd and 1. Can go with the conservative handoff or can drop back and throw the ball. This time Dawson again on the keeper, this time around the right side. He's got a lot of room. He may go all the way. And he does. It's a touchdown. Jamie Dawson, number 33, gets South Bay on the board as he explodes over the right side on the quarterback keep for a 35-yard touchdown. 3 minutes and 23 seconds still to play in the first quarter. Jamie Dawson, son of the head coach Curtis Dawson, puts his father's team, the South Bay Eagles, on top, 6-0. Both Dawsons, Jermaine and Jamie, very exciting here in the early going. But that time it was Jamie from the quarterback position. This time the quarterback is number 12, Anthony Morales, as Dawson on a halfback pass tries for number 80, Alexander Abad. Unsuccessfully, however, and South Bay settles for a 6-0 lead with the kickoff coming up. Kicking off for the second time now in 6 minutes and 37 seconds. Torrey Cutts, number 10, a left-footed kicker, puts his foot into it, and it's a nice kick. Gathered in by number 21 for Valencia Park. Nice run back by Jesse Horn. Gives the Hornet offense a 1st and 10 as they trot back out onto the field. They'll have the ball at their own 44-yard line. A little bit of a surprise seeing South Bay break such a long run against this 10-0 Valencia Park Hornet squad. Head coach Winston Sharp Jr. could have to make a defensive adjustment early, as Curtis Dawson has a lot of weapons he can throw at the Hornet defense. Centeno, Jose Centeno, number 69 on the stop. After a gain of maybe a yard, it'll bring up 2nd and 9. Overcast sky conditions, keeping temperatures down here on the Mira Mesa playing field. And thank goodness, this is only the second of 5 games that Video Depot will be covering today, as the Q Bowl wraps up another Pop Warner football season. Darcel Sharp on the quarterback keep around left side. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage by number 40, Michael Abernathy, and number 52, Fran Titag. No gain, it'll bring up 3rd and 9. The Hornet offense having trouble getting on track. And the South Bay Eagle defense looking to add some momentum to the South Bay squad. They already lead at 6-0 as Sharp drops back to pass. Number 18 with a great defensive effort, Juan Gonzalez, steps in front of the Darcel Sharp pass and breaks it up. It'll bring up a 4th down. And apparently Valencia Park could have to punt the ball away. The nose of the ball at their own 45-yard line. And after showing that he might go for it on 4th and 9, Darcel Sharp drops back in a punt formation, gets a good snap and a decent punt. Takes a Hornet bounce and going to roll out of bounds just about the 30-yard line, where the South Bay Eagle offense will take over once again. 1 minute and 42 seconds left to go in the first quarter. South Bay leading it 6-0. Center Antonio Parisma anchoring the offensive line for Charzell Shears and the entire South Bay offense. The handoff to number 33, Jamie Dawson. Tries the right side and picks up a couple. It'll bring up a 2nd down and about 8 yards to go. Also in on the offensive line, brothers Damon and DeMar Edwards, number 70 and 72 respectively. Jermaine Loyce, number 53 in there, as number 24, Charzell Shears, checks out of the lineup. Have an injury on the play, and it looks like number 33, Jamie Dawson. What a tough blow that would be for Father Curtis Dawson, head coach for South Bay. They lead 6-0 with 1:02 to go in the first quarter. Dawson being helped off of the field by his father and head coach Curtis Dawson. And again, we certainly hope that that's not serious, as Jamie Dawson, one of the big guns on offense for South Bay, one of many, but he's responsible for that 6-0 lead after exploding for a 35-yard touchdown. It's time number 30, showing great balance. His brother, Jermaine Dawson, able to scoot around the left side, pick up a nice gain of about 6 yards, maybe 8 yards. And it is an 8-yard gain, good enough for the 1st down. And after being strung out of bounds, the clock stops, showing only 44 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And the sun dipping from behind the clouds that we've been referring to. Moving from right to left with the Mira Mesa press box behind us, the South Bay Eagle offense has the ball with a 1st and 10 on their own 43-yard line. The pitch back goes to number 30 with a big hit by number 33, Marcus Thompson. Fumble on the play, but I think the ground caused that fumble, and I believe we may have a holding call on the play against South Bay. It is against the South Bay Eagles offense, holding the call. 10-yard penalty. It'll make a 1st and 20 now. Inside 40 seconds to go in the first quarter, 37 seconds exactly. The clock stopped for the penalty. The South Bay Eagle offense leading it by the score of 6-0. Brian Sackett along with George Marble for Video Depot, bringing you all the action as the official marks off the penalty, and it will bring up a 1st and 20. Checking out of the lineup for South Bay, number 88.
Denham, Ramirez, Bond.
That must have been number 86. Samir Meals, no doubt the brother of Khalid Meals, who we covered earlier in the season, and who had such great success against the Mira Mesa Charger team right here at Mira Mesa High School. On the end around this time, number 33 back in there, Jamie Dawson, coming right at us, showing great balance. And one of the Hornets loses a shoe. Actually, it was Dawson, the ball carrier. Jamie Dawson lost a shoe. And he gets it back with 11 seconds to go now in the first quarter. Timeout, another injury apparently on the play. Looks like number 31, Christopher Rajana, may have taken a shot. Rahana. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 13 yards to go. And this will undoubtedly be the last play of the first quarter. The clock in motion now, and they won't get this play off as the quarterback, Anthony Morales, just running in with the play. The time expires on the first quarter, and the South Bay Eagles lead it by the score of 6-0 on the long Jamie Dawson touchdown. At stake, the Pee Wee Championship. The Eagles 5-2 during the regular season, trying to take it away from the 10-0 Valencia Park Hornets, and they're in the ever-changing of the guard at quarterback. Back in now, number 24, Charzell Shears. Might see a pass play. Looks like he wanted to get it away. We're going to be unable to do so. That's a fumble, and it's picked up by number 63, Abdullah Zaki. The coaching staff on the South Bay sideline livid. As well they should be. I believe that the quarterback was attempting to throw the ball, which would have made that, of course, an incomplete pass. However, the official rules it a fumble, and it's picked up by number 63, Zaki. Big break right here at the beginning of the second quarter for the Hornet offense. They take over 1st and 10, the nose of the ball, just inside the South Bay 25-yard line. I believe we've got premature movement by number 86 for Valencia Park. Alfonso Frazier, the culprit. 5-yard penalty will move the ball back to just about the 30-yard line, where it'll give Valencia Park a 1st and 15.
Watch the middle,
9.5 minutes exactly, the time remaining in the first half. Well-played ball game by both teams. Jamie Dawson with the 35-yard run to count for the only scoring thus far. Darcel Sharp wants to throw the ball, looks deep, and he had a man, but number 32, unable to get to the ball, is Jason Russell. He had a step on number 34, J.P. Broussard. However, Sharp unable to get him the ball. There's another flag on the play as the officials begin to slow down the pace of the game ever slightly. Number 55, Ollie Long, the center for Darcel Sharp, the quarterback of the VP Hornet offense. He finds number 21 over the middle of the field. A nice pass and catch brought down by number 32, Calvin Bonds, but not before number 21 gathers in the ball, Jesse Horn.
You gotta drop back on that.
Nice gain of about 7 or 8 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 14 for the Hornets. They've got the ball now at the 28-yard line. The original line of scrimmage at 25. They've got to get it to the 15 as Sharp goes to the air again. Had a man out in the right flat, number 44, Michael Wakefield. Unable to make the reception, however. And with the clock stopped at 8 minutes and 48 seconds to go left in the half, the Hornets will face a 3rd and 13. Big play for the offense. And for the South Bay Eagle defense also. Right end, number 79, Pinky Mendoza. And Torrey Cutts, number 10, looks like he may be blitzing on this play. They pick it up. Picked off. Oh, my goodness. Number 18, Juan Gonzalez, would have returned that ball 70 yards for a touchdown had he been able to come up with the interception, and he's being reminded of that fact by number 69, Jose Centeno. Their head coach, Curtis Dawson, says, don't worry about it, Juan, you'll get it next time, and he very well could. Was in great position to make that play as number 52, Fran Titog, checks out of the lineup. And the Hornets face a 4th and 13. Darcel Sharp goes to the air again, finds a man over there, and it looks like he's got the first down. Number 21 on the reception. A great call from the quarterback, Darcel Sharp. Jesse Horn, number 21 on the reception, comes up just short. The Eagle offense takes over again. Quarterback Jamie Dawson on the keeper over the right side, tripped up by number 40 on the play. Aaron Love, we've called his name a couple of times already. And the temperature, along with the game, really heating up. It's probably 1:30 as we're entering the latter stages of the first half. Game number 2. In what's going to be a long Q Bowl day for Video Depot. The third quarterback we've seen, Jamie Dawson, at the helm right now. On the keeper around the left side. Brought down on a fine play by number 31 that time. Outside linebacker, number 31, Chance Harrell, with a nice play. On the quarterback, Jamie Dawson. We've also seen Shears and Anthony Morales handling the signal calling helm. And a timeout taken by the South Bay Eagle offense with exactly 7 minutes to go in the first half. They lead it 6-0. Big play on 3rd down and 11 for South Bay. Might see a pass attempt. Dawson drops back as if he wants to throw it long, and he does. Interference going to be called on number 33, Marcus Thompson. Or we may have offensive interference on number 88. Still haven't found a number 88 on the roster. 86, in fact, is Samir Meals. We'll have to wait until number 88 turns around, see if we can get a copy of his name. It's Wade, W-A-D-E, but we're not sure of his first name. We'll have to check on that. As our other roster from South Bay doesn't include first names, it appears. Following the personal foul penalty and a loss of down, quarterback Anthony Morales forced to punt from his end zone. Gets a nice punt away, but it's recovered by Wade, number 88 of South Bay. But VP going to have excellent field position, to say the least. Their offense will come back out on the field with a 1st and 10. The nose of the ball right at the 20-yard line. Number 44 gets the handoff and finds a little crease over the left side before being brought down by Pinky Mendoza. And number 29 coming back from a corner position, Luis Amaya. Gain of about 3. It'll bring up a 2nd and 7, maybe a 2nd and 6. Wakefield, the ball carrier. And just about 6 minutes, exactly 6 minutes to go in the first half. A well-played Pee Wee championship game between the South Bay Eagles, 5-2 on the regular season with losses to VP and Skyline. Fumble on the play, recovered by South Bay. Number 62 on the recovery, Ricardo Castillo, with a huge fumble recovery at the 5:47 mark. The South Bay Eagle offense back on the field as their defense holds Valencia Park at bay, pardon the pun. And they cling to that 6-0 lead given them by number 33, Jamie Dawson, on the big 35-yard touchdown run. Number 31 checking into the lineup, Christopher Rajana. And the quarterback at this juncture of the game, number 33, Jamie Dawson. As we've said, we've also seen Morales and Charzell Shears at the quarterbacking helm, but this time Dawson on the quarterback keep. Seems to be a play that they've run with great success. Still on his feet, spinning his way across the 30-yard line is Jamie Dawson. Big gain on the play. And the Eagle offense will have it 1st and 10 with the football outside the 30-yard line. Back in at quarterback, number 12, Anthony Morales. In a very complex offensive scheme set up by Curtis Dawson, straight up the middle, and he may go all the way. Number 30 explodes up the middle. He's not going to be stopped. Jermaine Dawson with a 68-yard touchdown run explodes up the middle for South Bay, and the Eagles increase their lead to 12-0. The Dawson gang, Jamie and Jermaine, explode here in the first half at Mira Mesa High School to give the Eagles a shocking 12-0 lead over the Hornets of Valencia Park. VP in a very difficult situation, trailing 12-0 with 4:14 in the half. Jamie Dawson, the quarterback, wants to throw the ball, has number 80 in the back corner of the end zone. A great catch. Alexander Abad with a great leaping grab from number 33, Jamie Dawson. And the South Bay Eagles had that lead to 13-0 over Winston Sharp Jr.'s Valencia Park Hornets. Wakefield and Sharp set to receive the third kickoff from South Bay. This time, however, handling the kicking chores, number 85, Frank Lawler Jr. The Eagles enjoying a nice 2-touchdown advantage. The ball skied straight up in the air, gathered in by number 55, Ali Long. Gets it up near midfield, about the 45-yard line of Valencia Park, where their offense will try back out onto the field to try its hand against the South Bay Eagle defense. Luis Amaya, number 29, appears to have been banged up a little bit. Perhaps his right hand jammed a little bit on that kickoff play. And with 3 minutes and 49 seconds, we have an official's timeout on the field. Very surprising what's happening here in the first half, as VP 10-0 on the year with an 8-0 regular season followed up by a 26-0 win. A 26-0 win over Kearney Mesa and a 12-7 triumph over Imperial Beach to bring their record to 10-0 overall into this Q Bowl championship game. Pee Wee division, but the South Bay Eagles 7-2 overall, and they had a bye during the season, accounting for a 7-game schedule instead of 8. 7-2 overall, South Bay Eagles leading by 2 touchdowns, giving the Hornets fits here today in the first half. Nice run, however, perhaps the finest offensive effort of the day by the Hornets. This one by number 44, Michael Wakefield. A first down carry, gain of about 10 or 11 yards, maybe 13 or 14 even, and with 3:15, the Hornet offense back in business at the Eagle 40-yard line. They'll stay on the ground with Wakefield again, tripped up by number 62, Ricardo Castillo, Castillo, the young man who made the fumble recovery just moments ago, to stall a Hornet drive after they had gotten the ball down around the South Bay 20-yard line. Now they face a 2nd and 9, the Hornets do, from the Eagle 39-yard line. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the first half. Wakefield up the middle with a great move at about the 26 to avoid number 62, Castillo. He dips to the outside and gets the ball all the way down to the 21-yard line. It'll be another first down for Valencia Park on the move. Exactly 2.5 minutes to go now. The time remaining in the first half. Brian Sackett, George Marble, and spotter Lee Bostic for Video Depot, bringing you all this exciting Q Bowl action.
Ball, ball, ball.
Fumbled handoff, and South Bay comes up with it again.
All right.
Unable to connect on the handoff.
All right. Way to go, defense.
And the Eagle defense with another fumble recovery. I believe credit goes to number 58, David Ramirez, for that recovery. And we've got a timeout with 1 minute and 43 seconds to go in the first half. South Bay out to a shocking 13-0 advantage. And the play from Valencia Park, very self-destructive in the first half. Certainly not the type of play that's earned them league-wide respect and a 10-0 record to go with it. Couple of fumbles down here in South Bay territory, and several penalties have really thwarted any offensive effort by the Valencia Park Hornets. We'll be getting with both head coaches, Curtis Dawson from South Bay, father of the 2 Dawson boys, Jermaine and Jamie, 2 young men that have accounted for both touchdowns for South Bay. This time it's Jamie over the middle on the handoff. Picks up a nice gain of maybe 5 or 6 yards over the right side. It'll bring up 2nd and 5. Inside 1.5 minutes to go now in the first half. The stop by number 51 rather, for Valencia Park, Calvin Wisham. The first time we've called Wisham's name today. It'll bring up, actually it was a 6-yard gain, bring up 2nd and 4. We'll be getting with head coach Curtis Dawson and Valencia Park head coach Winston Sharp Jr. at the half of this contest. Dawson, breaking numerous tackles, gets to the outside, picks up a big block down there by number 85, Frank Lawler Jr., who smeared number 88 out of bounds. Lawler with a crunching block on the tail end of that play. Inside 1 minute left now, and the quarterback, Anthony Morales, a little unclear as to what his coaching staff wants in this situation. So he asks for and receives a timeout. South Bay leading at 13-0, 57 seconds left to go until intermission, at which time we'll get with the coaches and the cheerleading squads, hopefully from both organizations, providing all the halftime festivities. The Eagle cheerleaders will be looking forward to their performance at halftime. Love to tack a 3rd score on here before the half, as Jermaine Dawson tries the right side, picks up a couple.
Go, what are you walking for?
They go with the no-huddle offense. But VP not going to let them get away with it. They'll call a timeout of their own. 48 seconds left. The Eagles will face a 2nd and 8, leading 13-0. Might look for this offense of Curtis Dawson's to stay with the no-huddle variety on 2nd and 8. 48 seconds left. Morales hands off up the middle. Fighting for yardage. Looks like Jermaine Dawson, brought down by a host of Hornet tacklers. It'll bring up a 3rd down. Chris Rahana, correction, the ball carrier, number 31. And another timeout taken by Valencia Park with 34 seconds. The Eagle offense will face a big 3rd down and 4. If they can get another first down here and tack on a 3rd score, it could make it really difficult in the second half for VP They trail it 13-0. Quarterback Dawson on the keeper around the left side. He needs about 5 for the first down. Getting encouragement from his teammates on the sideline, and that's just about all he needed as Jamie Dawson, with a big carry around the left side, picks up another big first down for the Eagles. 24 seconds left in the first half. The Eagles leading at 13-0 and on the verge of scoring another one. Dawson using good judgment on that play, scooting out of bounds to stop the clock with 24 seconds. This time they come the other way. Dawson on the keeper again. Avoids number 40 before being slammed to the ground by number 50 on the play.
13, yeah. Just simmer down, guys. Go ahead.
Aaron Love was avoided by the quarterback. And Kareem Knox, number 50, makes the stop. That's the last play of the first half. One dominated by South Bay. We'll get with their head coach, Curtis Dawson. His Eagles leading it 13-0. Coach Curtis Dawson, your boys doing it. The Dawson gang, both from a standpoint of you as the head coach and your two boys with the accounting for both touchdowns in the first half.
I really appreciate the hard work that they're putting out there. Even though the Dawsons are the ones running it, they can't do it without those other 9 guys out there. So everybody's doing fantastic right now, especially the defense. They are really holding these guys when it counts, and that's what makes this a good football team.
And an opportunistic defense that you told me about at pregame, opportunistic enough to pick up a couple of fumbles deep in Valencia Park territory to keep this thing at 13-0. That's got to make you really pleased.
I'm really proud of this defense. They've been doing it all year. No one has really blown us out because of this defense. And they get the offense the ball. It's the only way the offense can score is by the defense getting us that ball back. Every time we need it, they're there for us.
Well, you guys lost 2 during the regular season, finished 5-2. You lost to Skyline. You redeemed yourselves last week in a playoff win. You also lost to this bunch, VP, and you're halfway there to more than just redemption, but to winning the Q Bowl championship. That would probably have to be really gratifying for you.
It would be gratifying for me, the coaches, and the players. VP is a good football team, and the players have a lot of respect for each other. Hopefully, we can come out the second half and do the same thing we did in the first half and take this Q Bowl home with us.
Tell me about your multiple use of quarterbacks. We've seen Shears, we've seen Morales, and we've seen your son Jamie running the quarterback keepers to death around the left and right side. Why the constant changing of the guard, so to speak, at quarterback?
Well, we were fortunate enough to have 2 excellent quarterbacks from the beginning. Now, springing Jamie in there at quarterback gives us that extra opportunity to throw their defense off. I wish these other 2 quarterbacks could run as well, and I wish he could pass as well as they do. Hopefully you won't have to see our passing game if we can continue running like that.
And is that your plan, to see if you can stay with the run attack that you've established in the first half, try to wear down their defense so that in the fourth quarter this game should be yours?
I hope so. That is the plan.
Head coach Curtis Dawson, good luck, coach. In the second half, we'll get with you after the game.
Thank you very much.
And we're going to try and catch up with the head coach from Valencia Park to find out what adjustments, if any, he's going to need to make with his squad, trailing 13-0 at the half.
And we now looking at the VP cheerleaders doing their moves.
for super and the U is for unique. The P is for perfection and you know that we are sweet. The E is for exotic and the R is for rap. So tell them nosy people just to say it. Yeah. Super Hornet. Super Hornet. Super Hornet.
Coach Winston Sharp Jr. facing a dilemma you've probably not been used to this year as you've gone out to a 10-0 record, trailing 13-0 at the half. What'd you tell the boys and what are you going to have to do in the second half?
Well, we got to play our game. See, in the first half itself, we're playing someone else's game, which is killing us. It's really killing us. And so it's more or less we got to settle down and concentrate on what we have to do. Not playing their game. Come back to our game. Come back home to what we've been doing. Playing straight up football. All about contact. Don't be sitting out there reaching. Let's put the helmet and shoulder pads to work. Make everything be effective out there on the ball field.
Okay, there you have it from head coach Sharp Jr. of the Valencia Park Hornets, trailing 13-0 at the half. Coach, we'll get with you after the ball game. Better luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Okay, second half just underway. Game 2, the Q Bowl Championship. South Bay Eagles leading Valencia Park 13-0 with the second half kickoff just moments away. Ollie Long preparing to kick off for the Hornets. Head coach Winston Sharp Jr. and his staff of Jerry Jones, Roy Colum, Anthony McAfee, Cedric Neely, Larry Little, and Kenny McClay. Their work cut out for themselves in the second half. Nice return here by the Eagles' number 10, Torrey Cutts. Cutts, who started this game kicking off for South Bay to Valencia Park, begins the second half receiving the ball for South Bay. And their offense comes out on the field to begin the second half of play. They enjoy a 13-0 lead. Brian Sackett, George Marble, and spotter Lee Bostic visiting us from New Orleans, giving us more than able assistance on this very long day. 5 games in all, this only the second one. The quarterback to begin the second half, Anthony Morales, hands off to number 30, Jermaine Dawson.
Let's go, Jermaine. Come on, let's go. Come on.
And the defense swarms around Dawson after a gain of only a yard or two. It'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Stopped by number 40 on the play. Shears in at quarterback now. Hands off to Regina, number 31, over the right side. Gets the ball out near midfield. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. And we certainly hope you enjoyed all the halftime festivities. 15 minutes in length. more than enough time to get with the opposing head coaches and find out what adjustments, if any, they're going to need to make in the second half. Of course, we're more likely to see Valencia Park have to make the adjustments as South Bay enjoys a comfortable 13-0 advantage. It's time number 30. Jermaine Dawson cracks over the left side, fails to pick up the first down, and South Bay faces an interesting decision on 4th and 2, just inside of 8 minutes now in the third quarter, whether or not to punt the ball away from this field position or to try to go for it on 4th and 2. Looks as if they're going to go for it. Stern test for the Valencia Park Hornet defense. If they can hold here, their offense and get the ball in great field position. Look for a quarterback keep by Dawson. But unfortunately, number 63 shoots too soon on defense. And it gives South Bay an automatic first down. 1st and 10 via the offsides penalty. Number 63, Abdullah Zaki, and number 47, Demetrius Crosby. Either or both of them could have jumped prematurely. Nonetheless, it's first down. Quarterback keep up the middle. And now scooting to the outside, number 33, Jamie Dawson. Picks up big yardage before being run out of bounds by the Hornets' number 84, Ryan Mather, on the Eagle sideline, the far side of the field now as we face the Mira Mesa press box. The Eagle offense on the move again. The ball all the way down around the 25-yard line of Valencia Park. Number 24, Charzell Shears, back in at quarterback for South Bay. Hands off to number 30, Jermaine Dawson from the three-back offensive set. Gains a couple. It'll bring up a second down. And 6 yards to go. Call it a gain of 4. The ball just resting at the 25-yard line of Valencia Park. And the defense really needing to stiffen up here. Can't give up another score to this South Bay Eagle offense. The Eagles already leading, as we've told you, 13-0. Morales hands off to Reggiana this time. No gain. Stopped by number 47, Demetrius Crosby. We just called his name moments ago. Big play now on 3rd and 7. Number 73 checking out of the lineup for Valencia Park. Keenan Alfork, we've not called his name. He checks out of the lineup with 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the third quarter. From the I backfield, Jamie Dawson tries the left side on the quarterback keep. Gets a great block from Reggiana. Chris Reggiana, number 31, lowered the boom on Kenneth Long, number 27. But Dawson unable to pick up the first down. It'll bring up 4th down and 3 yards to go. The ball resting on the 20-yard line. Big play. 4th and 3 for South Bay. The Hornet defense has got to hold here. Dawson back in at quarterback. Look for another quarterback keeper. That's been his most successful play. And a keeper it is around the right side. Gets good blocking help from his brother. But knifing through, number 33, Marcus Thompson, able to bring Dawson down short of the line of scrimmage. And it would give the ball over to Valencia Park. There's a flag on the play. It's also an injury or two. Dawson was slow getting up. And there's a Hornet who's having trouble getting up off the field as well. Number 24, Damon Colbert, the injured Hornet on the play. South Bay called for illegal procedure. The Hornets declined the penalty. And their offense takes over on downs. They'll play it 1st and 10 from the South Bay 25-yard line. Damon Colbert helped off the field by a couple of members of Winston Sharp Jr.'s assistant coaching staff. It looks like he got banged up quite a bit there. We'll have to check in on his status. He appears to be in some pain, however, as the Hornet offense takes over 1st and 10. 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And the Hornet offense really has to get on track here. New ball carrier, number 10, haven't called his name yet today. Well, yes, we have Darcel Sharp on the keeper. Of course, he opened the game at quarterback. Sharp there keeps the ball and picks up a nice 10-yard gain, good enough for a first down. The chain gang moves on. It's 1st and 10. The ball at the 35-yard line now. It's time to hand off over the right side of the line of scrimmage. Goes to number 20, Tito De Leon. We haven't called Tito's name today. He picks up about 1.5 yards, maybe 2. The stop by number 52, Fran Titog. We've called his name a couple of times today. The entire South Bay Eagle defense doing a great job for head coach Curtis Dawson. He told us they played a lot of zone defense and very few standouts, but that everybody would get in on the act, and as promised, that's what's happening here today. This time, number 20 on the stop, Ricardo Dominguez, brings down the Hornets, number 20. Tito De Leon again. Picks up another couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down, about 7, as we're inside of 4 minutes to go now in the 3rd quarter. This game moving rather crisply now with very few pass attempts. Speaking of passing, a great pass from the quarterback, Darcel Sharp, to number 21 again, Jesse Horn, his 3rd reception of the contest. Brought down by number 62, Ricardo Castillo. Castillo credited with a fumble recovery in the first half to thwart a Hornet drive. In now to stop Jesse Horn after he makes his 3rd pass reception of the game. Handoff this time to number 44. Dotson dashes his way through the middle of the South Bay defense. Michael Wakefield it is. Brought down once again by number 62, Ricardo Castillo. And checking into the lineup now for Valencia Park, number 12, Robert Coons. Haven't called Coons' name. He's lined up, flanked out wide to the left. Might see him on the receiving end of another Darcel Sharp pass attempt. Flanked out wide to our right. Quarterback keeper by Sharp this time. Had great success with it a few moments ago. And successful again he is. Gains 4 or 5 yards up the middle. Good enough for a first down. And we've got 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Coons checks out of the lineup. And the center for Valencia Park, number 55, Ollie Long, prepares to snap the ball once again to Darcel Sharp. The Hornet offense on the move now with their perhaps finest sustained drive. He's got a man open. Darcel Sharp had number 41, Bobby Kaufman-Nash, open for a moment, but he overthrew him. And with 2:14 to go in the 3rd quarter, the Hornets face a 2nd and 10. The ball resting at the South Bay 42-yard line. Coons checks back in for head coach Winston Sharp Jr. And the Hornets need 10 yards on their next 2 plays if they're going to hold on to the football. Their offense looking perhaps their crispest of the afternoon thus far, as Wakefield tries the left side. Breaks a couple of tackles before being polished off by number 78, Scott Lovelace. And number 79 also in on the stop, Pinky Mendoza. Great name Pinky Mendoza has. We've called it quite a few times today. As number 20 for Valencia Park checks into the lineup, Tito De Leon. 3rd and 7, a big play for Valencia Park. Undoubtedly, if they fail to convert here on 3rd and 7, they would go for it from this position on the field. They won't get the playoff. We may have a delay of game, and that is the case. Tough break for Valencia Park. Quarterback Darcel Sharp unable to get the necessary communication to the rest of his offensive teammates in the allotted time, and the Hornets suffer a 5-yard delay of game penalty. Self-destructive play indicative of the first half, which saw numerous penalties and a couple of fumbles also. Sharp going deep, had a man momentarily, but the ball is picked off by number 32, Calvin Bonds. Trying to go deep again to Jesse Horn, but Bonds steps in front of the pass and picks it off. Darcel Sharp disgustedly comes to the Valencia Park sideline. Following a timeout, the Eagle offense and quarterback Shears this time hands off to Jermaine Dawson. Charzell Shears does. And one of the Dawson brothers picks up a couple over the right side as action settles down a little bit. Inside a minute to play now, left time remaining in the third quarter. And it's been all South Bay to this point. No scoring in the third quarter after each of the Dawson brothers scored one touchdown apiece in the first half to give South Bay a 13-0 lead. That's where we stand now. This will be probably the last play of the third quarter, as Jamie Dawson, on the normal quarterback keeper that he's run with quite a bit of success out here today, does so around the right side and is brought down by number 33, actually bumped out of bounds by Marcus Thompson. Stops the clock with 30 seconds, and this will be the last play of the third quarter. Valencia Park needs 2 touchdowns and 2 points in conversions to win this thing 14-13 in the final period of play. They've been unable to score for 3 quarters, however, so one would have to think that this is going to be a South Bay victory. Certainly looks that way at this point, as the quarterback this time is Jamie Dawson, tries the middle. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. No scoring in the third. The Eagles still enjoying a 13-0 advantage. And when the fourth quarter begins, of course, we'll switch sides of the field. South Bay will face a punting situation on 4th and 2. We're down to 3, 2, 1 second to go. And they won't get the punt off. Third quarter comes to a close. South Bay leading at 13-0. Brian Sackett, George Marble, and spotter Lee Bostic for Video Depot, bringing you all the action. We've got 1 quarter left to play from Mira Mesa High School in the Pee Wee Championship Q Bowl action. The South Bay Eagles leading it over Valencia Park, 13-0. Nice punt by Morales. Nobody back to receive it, and it's going to take a big, big South Bay bounce before being downed around the midfield area. And we'll get closer to get a better vantage point, but the Hornet offense back out onto the field. Time becoming a critical factor. They trail it 13-0. On 1st and 10, the handoff, rather the pitch, goes to number 20 around the right side. Tito De Leon emerging as one of the more successful backs here today for head coach Winston Sharp Jr. We've given you the names of all of his assistants. Now let's give the assistant coaches for South Bay's head coach Curtis Dawson. They are Ed Price, Danny Denham, David Ramirez, Calvin Bonds, and Willie Shepard. Sharp. Interception by number 10. Torrey Cutts steps in front of a throwback attempt to the quarterback. Sharp had handed off to number 12, Robert Coons, who tried to throw back to Sharp, but stepping in front of the ball, number 10, Torrey Cutts, to intercept for South Bay, give their Eagle offense another crack at it. Less than 9 minutes to go. And Charzell Shears at the helm from the 35-yard line. South Bay could probably end it with a score here. No gain on the running play as number 40 gets up off the bottom of the pile. Aaron Love, we've called his name quite a bit today. One would have to think, though, with only 8 minutes to go, that this Hornet defense could really be getting tired, and they're making numerous substitutions. Testimony to that statement. Checking out Kareem Knox, number 50. As number 33, Jamie Dawson back at the quarterbacking helm. Going to try a pass play. Unable to get it off, however. Pass will be ruled incomplete. We've got a flag on the play. And I believe we'll have a holding call against South Bay. We'll have to wait and see. It is holding against South Bay. If the Hornets decline the penalty and take the incomplete pass, then we would have a 3rd and 10. Otherwise, we could have a 2nd and 20. The holding apparently called against number 22. Correction, it was number 22 on the stop for Valencia Park. And that is Barry Washington. Interesting note here, Washington, we were told in pregame remarks from head coach Winston Sharp Jr., would be a standout on offense today, and we've not called his name at all until just now when he makes a stop on defense. We may have a delay of game call here against South Bay. We'll have to wait and see. Action slowing down just a bit. 7 minutes and 48 seconds left to go in the Q Bowl Pee Wee Championship game. The 10-0 Valencia Park Hornets on the verge of losing their only game of the year, but the most important one for all the marbles against the Eagles of South Bay. Finished only 5-2 with a bye in the regular season before getting here by defeating Los Toros 2 weeks ago 13-6 and Skyline last week 13-7, avenging an earlier season regular season loss to Skyline. A bomb attempt to number 80, Alexander Abad, dropped over on the far sideline around the 10 or 12 yard line. But again, flags on the play, illegal motion this time against South Bay. And with 7 minutes and 42 seconds, the Hornets may decline this one to bring up a 4th down following the incomplete pass. On 4th down, Morales preparing to punt. Ball goes almost straight up in the air, and wisely all the Hornets scoot out of the way, and it's down by number 86, Samir Meals. The Hornet offense gonna have to score quickly, and they'll have to do it twice, as with 7 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the game, the Hornets trailing South Bay 13-0. Darcel Sharp on the pass attempt to number 20, Tito De Leon. We've called De Leon's number as a ball carrier several times in the last 4 or 5 minutes. This time, fumble on the play. Darcel Sharp quickly able to pounce on it, however. Following the incompleted pass attempt to De Leon and that fumbled snap, the Hornets still self-destructing as they have throughout this contest. Very surprised to see this type of play from a 10-0 ball club. Sharp not living up to his namesake today and not looking very sharp from the quarterbacking position. Unable to connect with any consistency from his quarterbacking position. The Hornets on 4th and 10, unfortunately, may have to go for it. If they were to go for it here and not convert, the Eagles would be in dreamlike field position with the ball inside of the Hornet 15-yard line. But VP, needing 2 scores with less than 7 minutes to go, are going to have to go for it. They try the quarterback keep up the middle. And Sharp looks like he comes up a yard short, and he does. The South Bay Eagle defense holds once again, and their offense going to come out back on the field and take over 1st and 10 from the VP 28-yard line. The Eagle defense doing a great job all day. We'll get you the entire defense since there's really been no standout as promised by head coach Curtis Dawson. We'll tell you all of them. Number 10, Torrey Cutts with an interception moments ago. Number 14, Sergio Martinez. Number 18, Juan Gonzalez. Number 20, Ricardo Dominguez. Number 22, Terrence Taylor. 29, Luis Amaya, we called his name. Calvin Bonds, number 32, with a turnover of his own as Jermaine Dawson tries his hand over the middle of the line of scrimmage. Picks up maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. The rest of the defense, Michael Abernathy, number 40, Andrew Villanueva, number 50, Fran Titog, number 52. We've called his name throughout. Danny Denham, number 55. David Ramirez, number 58. Ricardo Castillo, number 62, with a fumble recovery. Victor Collins, number 66. This time, Jermaine Dawson again, this time over the right side. Picks up maybe a yard as VP calls a timeout. The South Bay offense will face a 3rd and 9 from about the Valencia Park 27-yard line. The last 3 defensive performers for South Bay, 2 of them real standouts out here today. Number 69, Jose Centeno, and number 79, Pinky Mendoza. And rounding out the defense, number 90, Dorsey Kazenev, C-A-Z-E-N-A-V-E, Dorsey Kazenev. But really a lot of credit has to be given to the entire offensive line of the South Bay Eagles. Number 60, Michael Tegarden. Number 65, the center, Antonio Parisma. Number 70, Damon Edwards, and his brother, number 72, DeMar Edwards. Really doing a great job helping that Eagle offense stay out on the field and wearing down as this game has progressed this Valencia Park Hornet defense. A legal procedure, the call against South Bay. When they have had any type of self-destructive play, either turnover or penalties, they've not been the type that have really hurt the South Bay team out here today. Those belong to Valencia Park. Numerous turnovers and penalties just really killing Valencia Park here today. 10-0 and facing their only loss of the year. 3rd down and 14 from the shotgun formation. First time we've seen that all year. Number 33 nearly picked the ball off Marcus Thompson as Anthony Morales operating from the shotgun. We've not seen the shotgun on any level of competition all year long, so that was kind of exciting for us. But unsuccessful the pass attempt was. It's 4th and 15 for South Bay. And the chain gang on the move. The official communicating the chain gangs need to move down a couple of yards. It will be, however, 4th and 15 for the Eagles. They'd love another first down to consume a couple of more minutes off of this game clock. Certainly in their favor at this juncture of the contest, as they lead 13-0. There's been no score in the second half following the early explosion by the Dawson boys. First Jamie and then Jermaine, both on very nice touchdown runs. And again from the shotgun formation, low snap. Morales elects to punt the ball. Still taking a South Bay bounce, and it'll be downed over on the far sideline by number 85, Frank Lawler Jr. He's emerged as a real standout on special teams, downing numerous punts and kicked the ball off once himself. The Hornets might see them go to a no-huddle type offense. Sharp hands off to Wakefield, number 44. They're going to need something much more effective than just 2 and 3 yards at a crack. Sharp dropping back to pass and going deep. Had a man there for a moment, number 41, Bobby Kaufman-Nash, but he overthrew him slightly. Defending on the play, J.P. Broussard, number 34. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Hornets in desperate search of a first down here. They've got to have one. The ball at their own 20-yard line. They certainly don't want to face another 4th down from this deep in their own territory. Might look for the quarterback on a keeper up the middle. Instead, Sharp elects to pass out here in the flat to Wakefield. Picks up only a yard, though. Dropped by number 79, Pinky Mendoza, and number 58, David Ramirez. Mendoza's really become the standout on defense here today. We'll try to get with him and number 69, Jose Centeno. along with both Jamie and Jermaine Dawson and their father and head coach Curtis Dawson, as it appears the South Bay Eagles are going to win this title contest. Quite a surprise out here today as VP entered this game 8-0 on the regular season, 2 consecutive playoff victories, 10-0 overall. The quarterback, Darcel Sharp, tries the right side, picked up the necessary yardage for the first down, and that's a huge first down. Can't emphasize that enough. Sharp picks up the first. The Hornets hold on to the ball. It'll be 1st and 10 at about the 33-yard line. The time becoming a very critical factor as Darcel Sharp on the keeper tries the left side, picks up another first down. This team didn't get to be 10-0 for nothing. They go to the huddle-up offense. Number 58 on the stop, David Ramirez. We just called his number on an assist along with Pinky Mendoza. Wakefield, the initial contact by number 52, Fran Titog. Finished off, it appears, by number 40 on the play, Michael Abernathy. Having called his name until just moments ago. 2nd down and 8 yards to go for the Hornets as Darcel Sharp drops back to pass, and he's smeared by number 69, Jose Centeno. Alertly recovering the fumble, number 44, Michael Wakefield. But a big loss on the play. More importantly, the clock continues to run, and it brings up 3rd down and long yardage to go for the Hornets as Robert Coons, number 12, checks out of the lineup. The center, Ollie Long, anchoring that offensive line. They've had their hands full trying to hold out that ever-penetrating defense. There it is again. Centeno and Pinky Mendoza. The 1-2 punch of Jose Centeno and Pinky Mendoza, proving now to be just too much to handle for the Valencia Park Hornet offense. They face a 4th and 12, and after this play, we'll be inside of 2 minutes. The Eagles could easily run out the clock and win this championship. Darcel Sharp going to need a lot more. Needs some help on the far side. And is bumped out of bounds. Looks like he's going to be short of the first. He is, and with 1:51 to go in the game, the Eagle offense going to get the ball back out onto the field, and they'll just be 3 or 4 plays away from running out this championship game. Coach Winston Sharp Jr. with a lot of concern for an injured player on the far sideline around the 41 or 42-yard line. Not sure from this vantage point who that is. It looks like number 81. Correction, it's number 51, Calvin Wisham. We called his name earlier. Wisham appears to be banged up quite significantly here as he's receiving help off the field by a couple of members of his coaching staff. 1st and 10, South Bay. The ball in Hornet territory at about the 47-yard line. Checking out of the lineup, number 30 didn't have time to get on the field. Jermaine Dawson with the carry over the left side. The officials whistle another infraction on the play. Motion the call against South Bay. Be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll bring up 1st and 15 unless VP, of course, elects to decline the penalty, in which case we have a 2nd and 10. They'll take the penalty and the 5-yard walk-off, making it 1st and 15. It's been a scoreless, rather lackluster second half following an exciting, explosive first half that saw brothers Jermaine and Jamie Dawson give their father and head coach for South Bay, Curtis Dawson, all the scoring offense that his squad needed, racing out to a 13-0 halftime advantage, and it stayed that way throughout the second half. The Eagles it looks like are going to be the Pee Wee champions of the Mira Mesa Scripps Ranch Pop Warner Football League. Second down and 10, inside a minute to go now. The Eagles are going to win the San Diego Pop Warner Pee Wee Football Championship. These same two teams, Valencia Park and South Bay, met a couple of weeks ago for the 7, 8, 9-year-old championship in a game that George and I thought might be handled by South Bay. Valencia Park and their head coach Richard Norris shocked us all with a big win. Fumble on the play, but Dawson able to pull it back into his rib cage. And on 4th down and 11 yards to go, they're not going to have to run another play. This game's over. They counted down 6-5. We'll let you hear it from the crowd. Three seconds left. For some reason, the officials call a timeout to delay the inevitable. South Bay and their head coach, Curtis Dawson, with a big Q Bowl championship win over the Valencia Park Hornets. We'll get with Curtis Dawson, his sons Jamie and Jermaine, and the defensive standouts Jose Centeno and Pinky Mendoza immediately following this game. South Bay, your champions, the blue and white balloons released over the Mira Mesa football stadium.
Coming back from the midget game, Marty. I got to go over to Groveland for a basketball.
And the crowd for South Bay very pleased with the outcome of this one. The Eagles win the Pee Wee Championship of San Diego Pop Warner football with a hard-fought 13-0 shutout over Winston Sharp Jr.'s Valencia Park Hornets. We're going to see if we can get with Coach Sharp and his son Darcel, who did a fine job quarterbacking this Hornet team, not only today, in which the going was very tough, but throughout a very fine 10-0 season. It all comes to a crashing halt today, though, as the South Bay Eagles of Curtis Dawson win the championship by the score of 13-0. A unique game out here today. Both head coaches with sons on these respective teams. Darcel, the son of head coach Winston Sharp Jr., they're going a little tough for you today, huh, champ?
Yeah, it's not too tough.
Well, you know, your number 10 is kind of significant. You guys rolled up 10 wins in a row, 8-0 in the regular season and 2 playoff wins. Certainly nothing to be ashamed of. A great season for you and the Hornets. I guess you got to be pleased with the season overall.
Yeah, I guess so. I have to be pleased.
All right, well, let's get with your dad, head coach Winston Sharp Jr. Maybe it's a little more difficult for an older folk to feel pleased after a game like this. We certainly thought that the outcome would be a little different, but after the blunders in the first half, play just didn't seem to be any crisper, significantly crisper in the second half. Still more turnovers and penalties just really plagued your ball club.
Yes, well, like I say, South Bay wanted it. We didn't want it the way we thought we wanted it. They came out and played a better game, and the better team won.
Will you be coaching this bunch again next year? Or are you going to step up in competition?
I'll be here. I'll be here as long as I can, coach the Pee Wee division. Like I say, it's something that we have committed ourselves when I started out with Papa Fears. Coach Fears, most of them know him, but we call him Papa. And as long as I can coach, I'll be out here for the Pee Wee division. It's something I got to dedicate to Papa's son.
And will most of these boys be joining you again next year?
Well, as it stands right now, we just have a handful. And we usually get maybe 4 or 5 guys back, but not that many, no.
Could be a rebuilding year then. We understand, after having worked throughout the season with Mira Mesa, that a young guy by the name of Michael Nash, number 14, a really solid prospect, may be transferring to your organization with VP. It'd probably be able to bolster you guys' defense a little bit.
Well, we're looking forward for anyone coming at us, anybody. It's just that we as coaches, as well as the team, we got to work a little harder. But it's, like I say, it's South Bay wanted it.
Are you surprised that you weren't at least able to score against this team?
Yes, I was. I was really surprised. Like I say, the momentum just got taken away from us. I really was surprised with it. But we know what we have to do as coaches for next season.
Okay, head coach Winston Sharp Jr., his son Darcel are finally going a little difficult today. The VP Hornets wind up 10-1, second overall, They lose out here today at Mira Mesa High School to the South Bay Eagles 13-0. We'll be getting with head coach Curtis Dawson, his sons, and a couple of key performers on defense right after this for Video Depot. On paper, you wouldn't think a 5-2 team in the regular season would beat a 10-0 team coming in the playoffs, but you did it where it counts, right here on the field.
That's right. We had no doubts in our minds that we could beat these guys. And we did it, didn't we, guys?
All right, well, they're all obviously real excited. We're going to just have a couple of seconds to chat with each as we've got another game. Jamie, you got things started with the first touchdown. Tell me about it.
It was fun, shoot. But it was hard. It was hard to score in there.
Well, you guys finished overall 5-2 plus 2 playoffs is 7-2, and the big one today, you finished 8-2. You got to be really pleased.
Yep.
All right, let's get a chat with your brother. Jermaine, you scored the second one. Between the two of you guys, you accounted for all the points. How do you feel?
Fine.
You know, you don't look a whole lot like brothers. That's probably one of the best looks we've seen between brothers all year. All right, Danny Denham, son of the defensive coordinator, leading tackler today, and I didn't realize that, Danny, but you played one whale of a ball game. Tell me about your performance.
Well, I just like playing defense, you know, playing linebacker, and, you know, get the defense together and make a tackle, fire them up.
You know, unless you play for a team like the New York Giants or the Bears or the New Orleans Saints, linebackers don't get much ink, but you certainly established that for yourself today with a nice game. Good game, Danny.
Thanks.
Pinky Mendoza.
Right here.
Pinky? And we got one other guy we wanted to chat with. Pinky, we called your name quite frequently today. You must have been right up there with Danny Denham as one of the leading tacklers. Tell me about your performance.
Well, I didn't think we're going to make it this far. And we just had a good game.
You speak any Spanish?
No,
No, I was going to see if I could get you to say something in Spanish to your mom or dad.
I don't speak Spanish.
All right. And who's the last one we got? Centeno. Jose? Number 69. I bet you speak Spanish, don't you?
Not really.
Can you say a little something in Spanish for your fans?
I don't really.
Like we're number one?
I don't know how to say it.
All right. Well, you played a great game today. The whole organization, South Bay, with a lot to be proud of. Champions in San Diego's Pop Warner Football League. Gonna get the trophies up.
Here's another guy that had six tackles today. Very good, David Ramirez.
David Ramirez, number 58, gonna be the last gentleman we'll have time to join us. You had a half a dozen tackles yourself. I know I called your name probably all half dozen of those times. Great game for you and the whole South Bay team, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anybody you want to say hi to?
Steele.
All right, well, tell me,
all the girls in
Tell-
LA that come down here. Play.
Tell me, South Bay Eagles, who are the Pee Wee champions in Pop Warner football?
Yeah, buddy! Lamar!